What if I told you that the next heat wave or smoke-filled sky is not just bad air? It may raise your stroke risk and strain the very stroke system that is meant to save you. If you're part of 99% of the world population that lives in areas where pollution levels exceed the World Health Organization's global air quality guidelines, this affects you directly. Today, I'll show you how climate change can increase stroke risk, who is hit hardest, and what you can do right now. I'm Dr. Kevin Moncion, physiotherapist and scientist with over 10 years of work in stroke recovery. On this channel, we translate the best and latest evidence into practical action for stroke recovery and prevention. If you find this useful, please like, comment, and subscribe. Your feedback guides future videos and helps more survivors and caregivers find this information. Okay, good, let's start. In 2024, the World Health Organization released a new policy statement connecting climate change, heat waves, wildfires, floods, natural disasters, to stroke incidence, severity, mortality, and disruptions in stroke care. Let's dive into the evidence and end with a clear path that you can follow. Before we start, pause this video, check your local air quality index. Got it? Okay, good, let's start. Let's remember that number and come back to it later. Let's start with what climate change is doing to stroke risk. Let's start with heat. When temperature rises, so do strokes. Multiple large studies show that for every single degree Celsius increase in temperature, stroke rates go up 1 to 2%. That may not sound like much, but when you're talking about several millions of people worldwide that are affected by stroke, these numbers add up. But heat isn't the only problem. Air pollution, those tiny particles, particulate matter 2.5, ozone, that's a major risk factor that we can actually do something about. And here's a number that will shock you. Up to 20% of the world's 15 million new strokes every year are linked to air pollution exposure. Want proof that air pollution is linked with mortality? During the 2020 lockdown in China, when factories were shut down, cars stayed parked, the air got cleaner. The result, nearly 9,000 fewer pollution-related deaths in just the first few months of the lockdown. Think about that, 9,000 people who just didn't die, and that was just because the air got cleaner. And then there's wildfire smoke. As our planet warms up, and droughts get worse, wildfires are becoming quite the monster. In California, summer wildfires have increased eightfold between 1972 and 2018. If you lived in California in the 1970s, you had 8 times less chance of breathing wildfire smoke than you do today. We've fundamentally broken our planet's thermostat. Even dust storms are getting into the act. In regions where these happen, researchers and doctors are seeing spikes in stroke admissions when the dust rolls in. And remember that AQI number I asked you to check? If it's over 100, you're breathing air right now that's potentially raising your stroke risk. Now you might be thinking, okay, heat, smoke, pollution, how bad can this really be? Well, let me show you what's actually happening inside your body when you're exposed to this stuff. And trust me, it's worse than you think. First, your blood literally changes. When you're hot and dehydrated, your blood gets thicker, you lose electrolytes, and your heart rhythm can become unstable. It's almost like your cardiovascular system is running on overdrive. Second, those tiny particles you're breathing, they become weapons. Every breath of polluted air triggers a cascade of inflammatory events, and this accelerates the buildup of plaque inside of your arteries. Our human body has an amazing system. Your body treats pollution like an invader, and unfortunately, this battle damages your blood vessels. And here's the scary part. This isn't only affecting people with pre-existing health conditions. Climate change and extreme weather events are causing strokes in younger people too. But here's where the story really takes a dark turn, because it's not just that climate change is making you more likely to have a stroke, it's also making it harder to save you when you do. There are significant health system disruptions with climate change. Floods, storms, and wildfires, other natural disaster events, delayed time, critical stroke care. Picture significant delays in EMS transport to the hospital for acute stroke management, delays in thrombectomy, thrombolysis. Time is of the essence when you're suffering a stroke. And if all that wasn't bad enough, there's one more layer to this story that is upsetting, because this isn't hitting everyone equally. Older adults get hit the hardest. Picture you or your grandparents during the next heat wave. Their bodies are just not as efficient and can't regulate the temperatures like they used to, and every degree matters. Couple the rising trends in the aging population and global warming temperatures rising, this gives us a hint that stroke risk is likely to increase in the distant future. Not only are older adults the most impacted, But individuals who live in low to middle income countries are disproportionately affected as well. They often have higher air quality indexes, have fewer resources like cooling, filtration, water purification plants, and also have less timely access to care. And so not only is stroke risk higher amongst these individuals, the impact of climate change further compounds this risk. So let me paint you a picture of where we're headed next. The next time there's a massive heat wave or a wildfire, more people are likely to have strokes. And when they do, the systems might be disrupted or delayed. The hospitals might be overwhelmed, and the people who need help the most, the elderly, individuals in low to middle income countries, those in vulnerable communities, they're the least likely to get care on time. This is the world we're walking into, unless we change the course right now. But here's what gives me hope. You're not powerless in this fight against climate change. In fact, there are 3 things that you can do today that can help save your life or save someone else's life. And the irony, every single one of these actions also helps solve the bigger problem. The first thing, it's important to know your risks and monitor hazards. Always check your weather network apps, heat alerts, and the air quality index. If any of those are within dangerous limits, plan exercise indoors. Adjust your routine and lower exposure. On smoke days, close the windows. Use HEPA filtration if it's available. Limit outdoor exertion and follow local guidance. And it's important to double down on prevention. Blood pressure control is non-negotiable. It's important to maintain the medications that you're taking and your hydration levels. Extreme heat days are not days that you want to forget a dose. Climate change raises stroke risk directly and also indirectly. The burden will not be shared equally unless we plan for it. The upside, the same steps that protect the planet can help protect your brain. Look, I'm aware that I cannot control global warming from this video, but I can help you protect yourself and your family for what's coming next, because there will be another heat wave, there will be another wildfire season, and when they come, you're gonna remember this video. If you like this video, please consider subscribing, share this information with somebody that you care about, and leave a comment down below of your current air quality index levels. Let's see how many people are breathing potentially dangerous air right now.